Now, we talked about Bentham, but really one of the people who's kind of most, I'll say, influential in our understanding of utilitarianism, a guy by the name of John Stuart Mill. Mill did not create the theory, but Mill sort of perfected it. Mill was born to a guy named James Mill, and Mill's father was a philosopher. He was actually friends with Bentham, and what Mill wanted to do was Mill's father wanted him to become the greatest philosopher of all time. And I keep thinking I'm going to do this with my children, but then I'm thinking I may be too late in my attempt at this. Actually, just sort of as long as we're talking about, the other day I said to my 4-year-old, he was 3 at the time, but he may have been 4, but he was right around his 4th birthday. I said to him, I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I want to be a train engineer. And I said, oh, okay. Or a conductor, a train engineer or a conductor. And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, you sure you don't want to be a philosopher? And he just looked at me and goes, that's funny, Dad. Which I was just like, what? That's what I do? What do you mean it's funny? There's nothing funny about it. It's a serious business, son. But, my son just laughed at my idea of being a philosopher. So it may be too late for him to be one. But for James Mill, he started a little younger and got him interested in this, kept him away from the evil and corrupting effect of trains. And so, and so he actually was able to get him to become a philosopher. But Mill grows up and he takes on utilitarianism and sort of makes it his own. He takes this theory and he kind of addresses the swine philosophy issue that Bentham gets labeled with, but he also creates this entire theory. And Mill came up in his father's rigorous upbringing. He actually has a mental breakdown when he's around 20 years old because of this rigorous upbringing. And as a result of this, he begins to read poetry and do things his father didn't allow because he saw them as fuzzy and not mathematical enough. And he begins to sort of engage in music and other things. But he eventually comes back to this conclusion that this rigorous education was in some ways very difficult for him, but this rigorous education gave him the skills he needed to be to better understand the world and help him understand pleasure and pain more greatly. And so he saw that as a good thing. Anyway. Oh, yeah. See, here's my son's 4-year-old's artwork. The one on top there, this is from school, an apple, but this is a train track. The kid's a little train nuts. Anyway, just thought I'd share that since his artwork was right there.